her bum and hoped no one would notice. When the game ended and there were no cards left.
Jen, are you sitting on the old maid?
Yes. She'd reluctantly admit, and we'd all have a good laugh. This only happened once though, and must have served to resolve Jen to avoid this scenario in the future, because she now kicks my butt at cards every single time.
I will say at the time her poker face was so good. It took us a long time to figure out this, like, wait a second, you lose every time, the cards disappeared and you're sitting there. Okay. Jen is also very trusting, which is necessary for being able to trust people. And as hopefully we all know, if you can't trust who you're with, you're kind of screwed. At any rate, or at least she was the first few times Grandpa said, "Hey look, there's an elephant in the yard. There's Superman." Grandpa would call for almost anything. He would just distract you with that. And of course, you know, when you looked, he would gank your desserts quickly under the table, and of course everybody else was in on the go, so he would go around under the table. And even if he caught on, he would hunt around looking under the table, hunting under the table, and you get a little bit of a nudge here and there, and you could never make it there in time. A few years later, her and her friend Andrea pulled one over on Grandpa, out camping. The mouse had been in the motorhome while there was trouble with the mouse, and Grandpa decided to lay out a trap for it and ate it with a donut. And so Jennifer and Andrea, I can't remember if they took a couple bites out of the donut and left most of it, or they just took the whole donut. Took the whole donut, and Grandpa was flabbergasted, as it were, to be like, "Oh, that one mouse ate that whole donut," and went on for a day or two. Until finally he kind of like, and then he's putting out potatoes in people's beds on Christmas Eve and whatnot, so no pitch open. As Lorraine says, he still chuckles about the story to this day. Yeah. Times you got him good, almost nobody ever gets Grandpa that good. That's impressive for a 6 and an 8-year-old. Yeah.
Okay, so Jen is also very fashionable. I think it all started with swimwear and the family bikini. It seems like everyone has worn this bikini.
I think even I did. Cass.
Including my Aunt Mel and myself. And by the way, I have a photo here with Jen wearing the bikini, so come and see that afterward. And by the time it came to Jen, and she looked so cute in it, but everybody had a chance to wear it. So Jen, I am passing the bikini back to you to be worn by the next generation of girls in the family.
At least you can put it on cheddar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Best of all, Jen is very loving. She's been a fantastic cat mom to Max, her large gray and white cat/dog, and who she's pretty sure was her boyfriend in a previous life. Or so the yogis say. He would stare down any boys who came over and gently pat her face before he went to sleep at night.
And of course there's Cheddar, her white, black-tailed special little guy who has had some interesting behavior, like eating soap, rubber bands, and the TV remote buttons. When he was a kitten, I think neighbors could hear Jen talking reasonably to her practice baby. Except when he was naughty. Bad practice baby! But she persevered, and he is now a mostly well-behaved brother to Petra. They can be seen snuggled together under the doting gaze of cat mom and cat dad.
I will add in there that under Jen being very loving, we teased each other a lot as kids. Unlike most kids, there was no fisticuffs going on, and people are astounded, like, you guys never beat the hell out of each other? Like, no, it just really didn't happen. And so we teased each other a lot, and we tried to be good about it, but we'd each get our favorite game, and Lorraine used to be the king of up the stairs and the ribs, and she didn't like it much herself, but oh, she was there. And I can remember a couple of times whereby I had been teasing Jen in a certain way for years at this point. And finally, unbeknownst to me, she'd been hiding so well that she was upset about it. She would just break down. And we finally kind of get to the bottom of it, and I realized that I'd been, upsetting her for quite a while doing something. And in the end, I was like, well, I feel so bad or whatever. But it's like, well, why didn't you say something? I don't want to hurt your feelings. And it was just like, oh my goodness, you're 3 years younger than I am, and you've been doing that for this long because, like, oh my goodness. And there was a big hug, and I'm so sorry, and I'm so sorry. And Jen is very loving. And of course, Jen is loving to her human friends and family as well. She is supportive, a caring, and excellent listener, who offers thoughtful ideas when needed, occasionally when not. No, sorry. Jen encourages you to follow your dream while keeping your feet on the ground, which is like, that's something I always had trouble with. Just keep your feet on the ground.
She is the first to celebrate successes, big or small, and also discuss any troubles, often over tea and or knitting. Jen is the best sister we could ever imagine, and such an amazing friend to us as well.
We love you so very, 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 very much. And Cass, we are really glad that you and Jen have found each other. She is a great partner, as great a partner for you as you are for her. We wish you a lifetime of happiness together. And just to add on to that, I've been just ecstatic all day, bouncing off the ground, that Jen, you found such a wonderful man who obviously, I remember the first time meeting Cass and him saying to me, "It's so glad to meet you, I heard so much about you." And I said, "Yeah, it's good to meet you, Jeff. You know, actually, I haven't heard anything. I really like what I see, and I am sure I'll see you again." That was only about 14, 15 months ago, and so here we are, you know, watching you today, just with the ceremony there, the awestruck gaze looking at my sister. And I could tell part of that was there because she had the same one going the other way. That's the thing about, you know, on your own side of the family, you can't see who you're in. It's like, you know, it's just kind of this thing. And I'm just so happy for you both. I think we all are.
Thank you, Jason and Lorraine. Thank you for that. Does anyone have anything they'd like to say at this time? Because this is very open, obviously. So if anyone has the confidence or interest, just come and say it. Okay, Colin? Colin,
Well,
come up and say something. Or just stand right there. Just there. You don't have a microphone.
Given that roast of Joan, what's your name? I only think it fair that we have a little roast of Charles over roast perhaps is not quite the right word on an occasion like this, so just thinking about it, maybe just a few little snippets. I mean, this could be a real field day for you guys, the things that we know about these parts that we've not heard about. But there are a few times when he's just filled our hearts with pride over the years, so I'll just give you a couple of little examples. You may know he was born in Regina, in the depth of the prairies, and it was cold. And so one of the things I've always been very grateful for you, grateful about from you, Cass, is that you never wanted to play hockey. So you had to get up at 5 o'clock on a Saturday morning when it was 45 below and take it to hockey. And in no particular chronological order of this, an occasion that I'll just recite when I felt rather proud of you. We were with my parents and Shirley, and we were on a road trip down to the mountains, to the Rockies in Wyoming. It was a beautiful day, evening, sitting there looking over a lake. You would have been about 18 months, 2 years old, I suppose, something like that. And you were sitting in your high chair, and the waitress took our orders. And she bent over to take an order, and you gave a little pat on the bum. And I thought, that's my boy. I must say though, she first of all turned around and glared at me. And I can't think why, but when she realised I was too far away, she looked down at this little cherubic face, smiling up at her and softened, of course.
It still works.
I should have told you a few of these things, Jen, perhaps. And of course, we've always been so proud of you with your music and your career. And I'll keep it short, we're just so proud that you waited to find the perfect partner. You're so welcome to the family, Jen. Wonderful. Thank you.